You wait to feel motivated. You wait for the right mood. You wait for inspiration to strike. You tell yourself that you will start when you feel ready, when you have more energy, when the timing is better, when the stars align. And while you wait, nothing changes. Subscribe if you want to understand the machinery behind your own mind. Here is a truth that will either set you free or haunt you. Motivation does not come before action. It comes after. You do not wait to feel motivated and then act. You act and then motivation follows. The feeling you are waiting for is not the cause of success. It is the result of it. Think about every time you have accomplished something meaningful. Did you feel like doing it beforehand? Probably not. You felt tired. You felt uncertain. You felt like quitting. But you started anyway. And somewhere in the middle of doing, the feeling showed up. The energy arrived. The motivation appeared. Not because you waited, because you moved. If this resonates, hit subscribe, because you need a reminder that waiting is the enemy and action is the cure. There is a concept in psychology called behavioral activation. It is used to treat depression, but it applies to everyone. The principle is simple. Behavior change does not follow feeling change. Feeling change follows behavior change. You do not wait to feel better to get out of bed. You get out of bed, and then you feel better. You do not wait to feel motivated to go to the gym. You go to the gym, and then you feel motivated. The feeling is not the fuel, it is the exhaust. Most people have it backwards. They think the sequence is inspiration, then motivation, then action. But the real sequence is action, then motivation, then more action. You cannot think your way into action. You have to act your way into thinking. This is why discipline is more important than motivation. Motivation is a feeling, and feelings are unreliable. They come and go like weather. Discipline is a choice. It is the decision to show up regardless of how you feel. It is not sexy, it is not glamorous, it is the unglamorous, uncelebrated daily grind of doing what needs to be done even when you do not want to do it. The most successful people in any field are not the most talented. They are not the luckiest. They are the ones who show up on the days when they have nothing to give. They are the ones who write when they have writer's block, who train when they are exhausted, who make the calls when they are terrified of rejection, who take the step when they cannot see the path. They have mastered the art of showing up when they do not feel like it. Here's what they know that you need to learn. They know that feelings follow actions. You do not wait for confidence to speak. You speak, and confidence follows. You do not wait for inspiration to create. You create, and inspiration follows. You do not wait for energy to work. You work, and energy follows. The feeling you are chasing is running away from you. Stop chasing it. Start acting. It will turn around and find you. They know that showing up is half the battle. The hardest part of any task is not the middle. It is not the end. It is the first second, the moment of initiation, the decision to begin. Once you start, momentum takes over. But you have to start. One word, one step, one call, 1 minute. That is all it takes. The rest will follow. They know that perfection is a lie. Waiting to feel ready is waiting for perfection, and perfection never arrives. The work will never be perfect. You will never feel completely ready. The conditions will never be ideal. Stop waiting for the perfect moment. The perfect moment is a myth. The only real moment is now. Imperfect, messy, uncertain. Start anyway. They know that showing up builds trust with yourself. Every time you say you will do something and you do it, you send a message to your brain. I keep my word. I am someone who follows through. I can rely on myself. That trust compounds. One kept promise leads to another. One small win leads to a bigger one. Over time, you become someone who does not negotiate with yourself. You do not ask if you feel like it. You just do it. They know that showing up separates the dreamers from the doers. Everyone has dreams. Everyone has goals. Everyone has a vision of who they want to become. But dreams without action are just wishes. Goals without discipline are just fantasies. The difference between wanting and having is doing. Not feeling, not waiting, not planning, doing. So how do you show up when you don't feel like it? First, you lower the bar. Do not aim for a perfect workout. Aim for putting on your shoes. Do not aim for writing a chapter. Aim for writing one sentence. Do not aim for a flawless presentation. Aim for showing up. The bar should be so low that you cannot fail. Once you start, momentum takes over, but you have to start. Second, you remove the choice. Do not ask yourself if you feel like it. Do not negotiate. Do not bargain. Decide in advance. Set a rule. I write every morning at 6 a.m. I go to the gym every Tuesday and Thursday. I make 3 calls before lunch. When it is a rule, you do not have to decide. You just follow the rule. Third, you focus on the identity, not the outcome. Do not focus on running a marathon. Focus on being a runner. Do not focus on getting the job. Focus on being someone who shows up prepared. The outcome is not always in your control. The identity is, and identity drives action. Fourth, you forgive yourself for bad days. You will miss days. You will fail. You will feel unmotivated. That is not the end. The question is not whether you fall. The question is how quickly you get back up. One missed day does not break a habit. Giving up does. Forgive yourself. Start again tomorrow. Here's what happens when you master the art of showing up. You stop being a victim of your feelings. Your emotions no longer control your actions. You feel tired, but you show up anyway. You feel scared, but you show up anyway. You feel uncertain, but you show up anyway. You are no longer at the mercy of how you feel. You are in control. You stop waiting for the perfect conditions. You realize that perfect conditions never come. You stop waiting for inspiration. You realize that inspiration follows action. You stop waiting to feel ready. You realize that readiness is a decision, not a feeling. You start building momentum. One action leads to another. One small win leads to a bigger one. One day of showing up leads to a week leads to a month leads to a year, and one day you look back and realize that you have become the person you used to admire. Not because you were special, because you showed up, even on the days you didn't feel like it. You have spent enough time waiting. You have waited for motivation that never came. You have waited for the right mood that never arrived. You have waited for inspiration that always seemed to strike someone else. Today, you stop waiting. You show up. Not because you feel ready, because waiting has not worked. Action is the only thing that has ever worked. You take one small step, one sentence, 1 minute, one call. You do not wait to feel motivated. You act and you let motivation catch up. The person you want to become is not waiting for you to feel ready. They are waiting for you to start. If you are ready to stop waiting and start showing up, subscribe. Every week, we explore not just how the mind works, but how to make it work for you. Not the waiting, the doing. Thank you for listening. I will see you in the next one.